You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo Village community along the Japanese Highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I really get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on your geographical location. Welcome to September 17, 2024 edition of the program Inside the Print Media. This is your informative news program where we highlight all of the important stories relating to the local dailies in Liberia. So for those of you who are watching this morning, I want to say good morning to you. Keep sharing the live video to enable a lot of people to watch this particular program. It is important to always be informed about what is taking place in our dear country. So this morning we have varieties of newspaper in our possession. We have the Front Page Africa newspaper. We have the Daily Observer newspaper. We have the New Dawn newspaper. Lastly, we have the Hot Pepper newspaper. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we begin giving you the content of the news presentations from the various newspapers.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Gregfina Korishpa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo Village community along the Japanese Highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I really get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from hot pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC, CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Rejoining this presentation, this is how we go strictly to the content of the Front Page Africa newspaper. They bring you the headlines. Government implores ex-president Weah to join campaign in advocating for a non-permanent seat on United Nations Security Council. Government implores ex-president Weah to join campaign in advocating for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. This is what the Front Page Africa newspaper is reporting this morning. So let's give you the content of today's publication. In what appears to be a major step towards fostering reconciliations and promoting unity in the wake of Liberia's polarized 2023 general elections, the Liberian government has reached out to former President George Manneh Weah, seeking his assistance in advocating for Liberia bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. In a communication, Foreign Minister Sarah Besley-Yanti stated as Liberia prepares to officially launch its bid for the United Nations Security Council seat on September 27, the government and its citizens recognize the crucial role former President Weah played in initiating this historic endeavor. She wrote, "Your Excellency, it was honoring your esteemed leadership that the process of Liberia's bid for non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council began. The foundation you lay is essential for our efforts, and we believe that your voice will amplify our campaign and ensure the successful completion of what you have begun. Your role in maintaining peace in Liberia during the recent election has been widely recognized, cementing your status as Global Peace Ambassador." On behalf of the government, Minister Nyanti invited former President Weah to join President Boakai, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and Nobel laureate Lyman Boyd in gathering support for the bid. "We could be deeply honored if you could join these prominent figures in supporting Liberia bid for the United Nations Security Council," she said. She added, "We specifically request a brief video message around 1 minute in length endorsing Liberia's bid and could be grateful if you could join us at the official launch. If you could join us at the official launch headquarters on September 27, 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Your message and presence could emphasize Liberia's historical contribution to the United Nations global peace and showcase your personal commitment to these efforts." Nyanti emphasized that Weah's support at the critical moment could elevate Liberia's standing in the international community and reinforce the nation's dedication to peace and stability. The process of Liberia to secure a non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council from 2026 to 2027 was initiated under the Weah-Taylor administration. In his 2023 State of the Nation's address, President Weah highlighted his administration's diplomatic efforts towards securing this seat. He noted, "Liberia's candidacy was endorsed during the 40th ordinary session of the Executive Councils of the African Union in February 2023, as well as by the African Group of Ambassadors at the United Nations. Your Excellency, it is honoring your esteemed leadership that the process for Liberia bid for non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council begin. The foundation you lay is essential for our efforts, and we believe that your voice will amplify our campaign and ensure the successful completion of what you have begun. Your role in maintaining peace in Liberia during the recent election has been widely recognized, cementing the status as a global peace ambassador. This will be a pride moment for our nation as it signifies Liberia's acceptance among the global community as a country capable of contributing to world peace, we as stated in his address. He further noted that the symbolic significance of Liberia's journey from a war-torn nation to one that could sit on the UN Security Council, recalling the crucial role of the United Nations played in restoring peace to Liberia through the deployment of the UNMIL peacekeeping mission. Recognizing WEA's contribution, in her letter, Foreign Minister Yanti recognized WEA's efforts in laying groundwork for Liberia's bid. She wrote, as Liberia prepared to launch its official bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council on September 27, 2024, we acknowledge the significant role you played in this historic journey. She added that as a founding member of the United Nations and a former non-permanent representative member of the United Nations Security Councils in 1961, Liberia has a long-standing commitment to global peace and security. Since the end of its civil war in 2003, Liberia has transitioned into a contributor to international peacekeeping and peace-building efforts. Yanti expressed the government's heartfelt gratitude to WEA for his commitment to peace, emphasizing that his global presence as a peace ambassador was fortified Liberia's position on the world stage. Political analysts believe that a government invitation to former President WEA could pave the way for national reconciliation and healing after a highly contentious election. WEA's political party, the opposition coalitions of Democratic Change, has often accused the Unity Party-led government of disrespecting their leader, citing instances like the alleged exclusion from the VIP access at the Rabat International Airport. Recently, tension escalated when armed security officers acting on 40 search warrant raided a neighborhood near CDC headquarters, leading to clashes that left both partisans and security personnel injured. So with this being said, this is how we move over to another headlines on the front page Africa newspaper. So before then, while we are waiting for the website to load, let's begin to acknowledge some of our esteemed followers who are following us this morning by the medium of the live television. Simeon Johnson says, good morning. Princess FC Camara, it will never work. And she sends in a laughter emoji. Princess, I'm watching from Upper Car with Samakatan Junction. So let's go over to another headlines on the front page Africa newspaper this morning. Guinea yet to grant HPS mining lesson despite company expression of intent to construct over 3 billion road in Liberia. Guinea yet to grant HPS mining lessons despite company expressions of intent to construct over 3 billion road in Liberia. Let's bring you this development. How Power Exploration, a US-based mineral explorations company, has aggressively pursued access to Liberia Road and port infrastructure for the transportation of iron ore from Guinea despite lacking critical legal agreements in Guinea. HPA Guinea subsidiary, Societe de Mines, has yet to secure a valid mining license or mineral development agreement from the Guinean government, raising concern about the legitimacy of its demand for Liberian infrastructure access. Without this crucial legal document, HPA's ability to legally mine and export iron ore is in question. This absence poses Liberia considerable risks, both legally and economically, by engaging with a company that may lack the necessary legal standing in its host country. In February, HPA signed a letter of intent with the Liberian government pledging to finance a multi-billion-dollar Liberty Corridor in partnership with Goldman Africa Group. The project proposes a new railroad linking northern Liberia to a deep water port in Buchanan. However, despite these grandiose plans, HPAS is concurrently pushing for access to existing Yekipa Buchanan Railroad operated by ArcelorMittal, which has already invested over 800 million in rehabilitating the line. HPS intends focus on displacing ArcelorMittal from the railroad has raised eyebrow. If HPA is confident in its ability to develop new infrastructure, its insistence on leveraging ArcelorMittal existing assets raises doubt about its actual financials and operational capacity. Some observers suggest that HPS may be seeking shortcuts to bypass the challenges of developing its own infrastructure. Its source from Guinea's Ministries of Mines expressed skepticism about HPS' ability to secure financing for its proposed project in both Guinea and Liberia. The insider revealed that HPS may never receive the necessary MDA from the Guinean government, casting further doubt on the company's legitimacy. Additionally, the Guinean government is reportedly planning a new rail line connecting the Nimba Mount to the Trans-Guinean corridor, which is expected to be completed by 2025. Should this project materialize, HPS reliance on Liberia road infrastructure could become unnecessary, potentially undermining company's entire strategy for exporting Guinean iron ore through Liberia. HPS dealings in Liberia have not been without controversy. The company reportedly paid 34 million to the administration of former President George Weah to secure a framework agreement granting access to Liberia Railroad and ports. However, this agreement was never ratified by the Liberian legislature, raising legal concern. Furthermore, the deal was struck without approval from Guinea, whose resources HPA intends to transport through Liberia. HPA has since pressured the newly elected administration of President Boakai to implement this unratified agreement and establish a national railroad authority, offering 25 million to fund its creation. Critics argue that this aggressive push signals desperation rather than a genuine commitment to Liberia's infrastructure development, particularly as HPS lacks the legal backing to operate in Guinea. Calls for caution. Officials from Guinea Ministries of Mines and Geology confirmed that HPS only holds an exploration license, not the required MDA to begin mining. An agreement made by HPS without the Guinean government approval could be invalid, said an official, emphasizing that Liberia should tread carefully in its dealing with HPS. Given the uncertainties, the Liberian government faces critical decision, continuing negotiation with HPS without confirming its legal status in Guinea could expose Liberia to significant risks, including potential diplomatic fallout and economic losses. Experts are urging Liberia to demand HPS present a valid MDA from Guinea before any further discussion on the use of Liberian infrastructure proceeds. A time for due diligence. As HPA operations and intentions come under increasing scrutiny, Liberia must ensure its conduct proper due diligence. With so much at stake, Liberia cannot afford to enter into an agreement with a company that may not have the legal foundations to operate. A cautious approach will protect Liberia's interests and prevent the country from being entangled in potentially damaging cross-border disputes. HPS infrastructure push in Liberia. Meanwhile, HPS continues to negotiate with the Liberian government and Goldman Africa Group on the development of the Liberty Corridor, a proposed multi-user infrastructure corridor connecting Guinea Nimba region to Liberia. The 3 to 5 billion project includes the construction of a new railroad and a deep water with upgrades to road networks and telecommunications infrastructure. While HPS promises significant economic benefits, questions about its ability to deliver remain unresolved. As President Boakai's administrations navigate this negotiation, Liberia must weigh the potential benefit against the risks of partnering with a company that may lack the necessary legal and financial standing. So with this being said, this is how we move overall to another headlines within the Daily Observer newspaper this morning. What is the Daily Observer newspaper reporting? So exercise patient a bit. What is the Daily Observer newspaper reporting this morning? Let's begin to acknowledge some of our people who are following. I see veteran media colleague Harrison there is also following this live presentation this morning. We want to say good morning, veteran. Harrison there is an employee of the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible informations of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world life.
Hello, K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Greg Courage Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
Wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
For always staying with us to get informed about the program Inside the Print Media. Like we emphasize to you, Inside the Print Media is an informative news program that highlight trending stories about our nation's progress as well as the lapses pertaining to Liberia. So let's go over to the Daily Observer newspaper this morning. Dr. Moniba slams lawmaker for spending millions on SUV. Dr. Moniba slams lawmakers for spending millions on SUV. Says they are insensitive to the plight of the suffering masses. We will never build Liberia when legislature, cabinet ministers, and other senior government officials live like kings, Dr. Moniba says. Dr. Moniba, the political leader of the Liberian National Union, has slammed members of the House of Representatives for betraying public trust by allocating and receiving funds for purchasing expensive vehicles, especially SUV. He expressed concern that this practice is unfair to Liberian taxpayers, especially considering the challenging economic conditions faced by many in the country. According to him, it is unthinkable that as direct leaders of the people, lawmakers should be elected to live plus life, purchasing 45,000 SUV while the people remain in abject poverty. Like the Moneybar highlighted the contrast between the legislature expenditure on vehicle and the present need for the healthcare system, infrastructures, and educations in Liberia. He expressed dismay over the legislature decision to spend 2 million on vehicles while still receiving well over 10,000 in salaries and benefits, pointing out that the stark contrast with the country's poor infrastructure and living conditions. We will never build Liberia when legislature, cabinet ministers, and senior government officials live like kings while our 5 million people live like peasants and strangers in their own homes, he said. Money by criticism comes as all 73 members of the House of Representatives have received 45,000 for vehicles, with the amount due again in 3 years, entitling lawmakers to 90,000 to 2 SUV over 6 years. Members of the Senate also received 45,000 for vehicle, bringing the total expenditure to 4.6 million over 6 years, which could raise to 9.2 million if no increase is made. Unlike vehicles owned by the executive and judiciary, lawmakers' vehicles become their property after 6 years tenure. If re-elected, they are entitled to 2 new vehicles for the next 6 years. He suggested alternative uses for the funds, such as upgrading medical facility, providing training for healthcare staff, investing in ambulance services, and providing educational institutions. Dr. Moneybar emphasized the importance of prioritizing public services and supporting essential workers such as police officers and teachers. Moneybar argued that the funds spent on vehicles could have upgraded 13 major clinics and hospitals, providing 24-hour solar energy, air conditioning, new beds, computer systems, and pharmacy upgrade, as well as refreshers training for nursing staff at a cost of 250,000 each, saving thousands of lives. He added that the amount could have purchased 42 modern ambulances at 75,000 each, which could have saved the estimated 35,000 lives per year, or built a modern landfill to alleviate the harsh field streets. The sad thing is, Moneybar lamented the same budget they proposed only gives police officer 150 a month. Our government less than our civil 7 billion, enough to feed their families and transport them. So, okay, folks, we want to sincerely apologize for the break-in due to network connectivity. However, we are trying to have it resolved as soon as possible. and our technician is here to help us in the process. So let's begin to acknowledge Micaiah Gamonde watching from Broad Street. So we want to say thank you for watching again. Gafwan plans to curb leakages, grow budget. Gafwan plans to curb leakages, grow budget. Officially takes office. Augustine P. Gafwan has officially resumed his position as Minister of Finance and Development Planning as he commits to curb revenue leakages and expand the nation's national budget. Gafwan return to the helm of the nation's fiscal management functionary has been eagerly anticipated as many government officials, staff members, and other dignitaries converged at his taking over ceremony held on Monday, September 16, all eager to hear his vision for the future of the country's financial sector. His return to the ministry, where he served as minister between 2008 to 2012, marks a crucial moment for the ministry as Liberia faces both economic challenges and opportunities for development. Addressing the room with a sense of purpose, Gafwan reflected on his reappointment, describing it as more than just a return to a familiar role, but rather a divine calling to continue serving Liberia. This is not just merely a return to office for me, he began. It is a fulfillment of what I believe to be God's will for Liberia. Our country is at a pivotal moment in integrity and sustainability. Gafwan, who previously served as Minister of Finance during Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administrations, emphasized that his primary goals is to fulfill aspiration for Liberian people. He made it clear that the government role is not just to maintain power, but to create tangible improvement in the lives of its citizens. Our duty as government official is to work towards realizing the ambitions of our people, Gafwan declared. This dream extends beyond political power. They want to see real lasting progress, and we are in the government must work tirelessly to meet those expectations. It is our responsibility to deliver. Throughout his speech, Gafwan underscored the importance of integrity, describing it as the cornerstone of functional and transparent government. He warned that while qualifications and technical skills are critical, they are meaningless without a strong ethical condition. You can be the most qualified person in the room, but if you lack integrity, it all amounts to nothing. Gafwan caution, competency without integrity is a recipe for disaster, not just for the individual, but for the entire state. We must ensure that we protect the public trust at all costs. Gafwan call for integrity resonated deeply at the Ministry of Employee as he highlighted the crucial role they played in managing the nation's finances. He urged them to separate personal interests from public duties, particularly when it comes to handling public funds. Public money is not your money, Gafwan said firmly. We must ensure that we are good stewards of the nation's resources. If you lack discipline in how you manage public funds, it puts the entire state at risk. Our people are counting on us to manage these resources and responsibly. Gafwan also laid his plans to addressing one of the most persistent issues of facing Liberia's revenue leakages. He pledged to close loopholes that have allowed public funds to lost or mismanaged, which has historically hampered the country's development efforts. We must address the revenue leakages to continue to drain every dollar. Every dollar lost to corruption or inefficiency is a dollar that could have been used to build a school, pave a road, or improve healthcare. Change the life, Gafwan said with his determinations. Imagine a Liberia where collaboratively towards the common goal of national development. He acknowledged the wide efforts of the ministry that will make the real difference. For our ongoing relationships in the ministry, duty. He assured the staff that their hard work will go unnoticed and those who demonstrate excellence could be recognized and supported. We are in this together, the friend concluded. Our success as a ministry is the success of Liberia. Let us work with transparency and accountability and dedication to move this country forward. So this is what the newly inducted Finance Minister Augustine Begafwine. Although he is making a return, he has made a commitment to curbing the leakages affecting our country, our physical system. So let's go over to the Hot Pepper newspaper and let's see what the Hot Pepper newspaper is reporting this morning. The Hot Pepper newspaper. Okay, let's take a short break. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we will bring you just a single development from the Hot Pepper newspaper.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world life.
Hello, K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Greg Courage Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
What?
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Okay, folks, we want to sincerely apologize that we will not be able to bring you the Hot Pepper newspaper due to a grave technical challenge from the end of our studios here. It appears like the website has a problem. So let's go over to the New Dawn newspaper. Rice importer in game may fake alarm. So this is what the New Dawn newspaper is reporting this morning. And let's bring you this development. The deliberate holding back on import of rice, thereby creating an artificial shortage of the commodity on the local market to force the government to yield to the demand of rice increases has been the strategic move of rice importers. Rice importers have appeared to be playing games with the Liberian government over the nation's staple food in their bid to increase the commodity price on the local market at all costs. The move follows their failed attempt to pressure the government into increasing the price of a 25 kg bag of rice from $17.50 to $20, citing a 2023 20% surcharge imposed on a not as mattered rice export from India in February 2024. As if there was not enough, one of the leading rice importer K&K over the weekend alarmed an imminent rice shortage on the local market, citing APM Terminal Liberia Limited. This company handles shipments at the Freeport of Monrovia, being responsible due to their delay in allowing rice vessels to berth ahead of the cargo vessels. However, document this paper picked up on Monday debunked such claim and exposed the game rice importers have played over the years in the bid to hack rice prices. A comparative analysis of these documents as it relates to the rice imports from January to May year on year shows that each year the rice importer made a demand for an increase in the price of 25 kg rice on the local market. They held back on imports, giving the rise to shortages and hacking the price. In 2020, for example, between January and May, rice importer begin 778,905 metric tons of rice. In 2021, during the same period, they demanded an increase in the price of the commodity. That number decreased from 778,900 metric tons to 125,102 metric tons. During the same period in 2022, rice import increased slightly compared to 2021 by 39,301 metric tons. In 2023, the same period from January to May, rice import have recorded 240,467 metric tons. So with this being said, this is how we will sum up. We encourage you to grab yourself of all of the local dailies that we read. We read the Front Page Africa newspaper. We read the Daily Observer newspaper, and we read the New Dawn newspaper because we could not get hand of the Hot Pepper newspaper due to a grave technical issue. This is how we want to say thanks to all of you who have been following. Let's begin to mention some of the followers who have been following this live presentation this morning. Simeon Johnson, good morning. He says, Princess FC Camara says it will never work. And she inserted an laughing emoji. Princess says, I'm watching from Upper Car, West Town. Then Makaya Gamade say, I'm watching from Broad Street. So we want to thank every one of you who have watched this particular news presentation this morning. My name is K. Lyndon Toba, and this is how I choose to end this presentation. Tomorrow we'll be back here to bring you more of this development regarding the newspapers in our country. This program is intended to inform you about all of the major happenings in our country by highlighting all of the developments from the print media. So at this point in time, this is how I love to say bye-bye from my end. See you when I see you again.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of